So I'm delighted to be with Nicholas Marshall this afternoon. Nicholas is my co-host of the Wandsworth Property Meet, and that takes place on a monthly basis. In fact, in just a few days' time is the upcoming auction panel. So it's a really experienced panel. Nicholas himself is involved in auctions. Which do you look at more, the buying or the selling, Nicholas?
Oh, definitely buying.
Oh, the buying.
Yeah, I think we like the buying process. It's simple, it's clear cut, and once the hammer go down, it's your property, and we quite like that.
So in terms of who's on the panel coming up in a few days' time, and depending when you're listening to this, whether you're listening Facebook Live right now or you're listening to this video after, the people who are going to be on the panel are both going to be experts on finance, the likes of Shawbrook.
Yes.
So that's a noted medium-sized challenger bank. Darryl Knockett, the representative for Shawbrook, he's the BDM. So David
Ranjan Bhattacharya.
Yeah, Ranjan Bhattacharya. So 25 plus years experience of being an investor, both commercial and residential. We've got the likes of David Sanderman as well.
Yeah.
So David is responsible for the Essential Information Group. People are always asking about data. I saw someone
very good on data. We use them a lot.
Okay. So you use EIG?
Yeah, use EIG. It's a fantastic tool, and it helps us to track the properties that we're looking to buy, and we get notified on a as-you-go basis on the properties in our area within the catchment and the margin that we're looking for.
How serious a player do you have to be looking at EIG? Because it's not necessarily cheap software.
It's not cheap, but it's very beneficial, and I think the cost is about maybe £500 a year.
Yeah, sure.
And well worth it. So if you're going to look at auctions, that's a tool to get.
And how long have you been personally using EIG software?
About 3 years now.
And you really find it
useful? It does.
Yeah.
It helps you to cut out the stuff you don't want to focus on stuff that you do want.
So it's like leveraging your time?
Leveraging your time, and you can get background information. And Mary, who's in the back office at EIG, is very helpful.
So we've got David Sanderman, just to repeat.
Yeah.
Shawbrook.
Yeah.
Ranjan Bhattacharya. Another investor's going to be there as well in the evening, Tim Hodges from the Vincent Group. And also one of the key things with property is who's in your legal team. So Ricardo Map dos Anjos is going to be on the panel. So he's been in property for the last, lawyer for the last 20 years, property for the best part of 20 years as well.
Okay.
And specialises in property law. He's based in Chancery Lane, so Fisher Meredith is the company which he represents. So those are some of the key people who are going to be on the panel. So it's going to be at the Alma in Wandsworth, which is easy to get to.
So people.
So Wandsworth is literally only a few. Well, the venue is only a few hundred yards. Well, not even a few hundred yards, 10 yards from the station. You literally just cross the road at the traffic lights. You're at the venue. As I say, the venue is easy to get to. Direct trains from Waterloo. So we're going to be looking at a number of questions in the evening. What do you think? People are key to find out about auctions from the panel. What would you say is the key number one question?
I think it's what the benefits are. So obviously you're doing a sale under a pressurized environment. So why would you do that? What are the cost benefits to you? And I think that's the key. So I think people go to auctions looking for a deal, and I think that's what auctions are there for.
And do you look at different auctioneers or different geographical areas? You've got your base, if I remember rightly, Nicholas. It's like a triangle in the Croydon area.
Correct. Right? Yes. So we do everything in the South London area, and with the EIG software tool, it allows us to focus on that area, and we get alerted any type of property is available in that area.
And that allows you to look at different auctioneers.
All the auctioneers.
I forgot to mention, because it's such a quite widespread panel, we also do have an auctioneer that particular night. I don't know if you've come across them, Nicholas, yourself in the past. Philip Arnold?
Yes, they're on the EIG group as well.
So they're the auctioneer who's going to be on the panel on the evening. So you mentioned about handling you didn't mention the stress word, but is quite a high volatile environment.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
And
so that's why you need a nice team around you. So you got your architect, you got your accountants, you got your solicitors, and it's quite important to have that team around you when doing purchases in the auction, and also your finance company.
What do you specifically look for in architects? So it's a great opportunity for architects to come along. It's a great opportunity
Most
for
definitely.
accountants as well.
Yes.
So there's lots of people who will be there on the evening thinking, look, we'd like to replicate what Nicholas has done, building our power team, i.e. looking at building the accountant, the architects
Yep.
and solicitors. What made you go for particular architects out there? What advice would you give to architects who are looking potentially for more clients?
Well, people look. Well, basically, we found our architects at the at Funny Your meet. So we met him there, good architects, and we work with him quite closely. And we find it just because he's a property person, obviously, in the resale aspect, we find it easy to work with him.
Okay, so someone who's got an interest in property does make it easier.
In property management and in projects.
Sure. So, one of the key things we're going to look at, you said, is, why would you put that yourself in that type of environment? Have you always looked at buying at auction from being in the room or being on the phone?
Only in the room. I'm not that brave to do it over the phone.
Okay. What would your number one tip be for people who are thinking of buying at auction in the room? Is it literally go around to auctions beforehand? I heard a fantastic, I don't think he was presenting, but his suggestion was get experience of buying at auction, but maybe not necessarily property. Look at buying other items, maybe like antiques and so forth.
Yeah.
And when you specialise your education in that, then continue and move into higher ticket items like property. What would your suggestion
My
be?
one tip would be research. Carry out your due diligence on any property that you're going to buy, and research it again. If it's an area you don't know, do a walk around that area. But research is the key.
But you, one of your key strengths, from what I understand, is you've got a focal, the complete focal of attention is the Croydon South London Triangle.
Correct. That's right.
So, what made you pick that particular area of London?
It's an area that we have grew up in. We've been there all our lives, so we're very familiar with the area. Have lots of contacts in the area. We also have a portfolio of properties that we let in that area, so we're in that area and we know it well.
So we've looked at people buying at auction. We've looked at yourself, Nicholas, and your experience. How long have you been attending auctions
I'd
yourself?
say now about 5 or 6 years.
Okay, 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Okay, and in terms of buying at auction,
Yeah, well, our last purchase was last week, Wednesday.
wow.
Yeah, it's a nice property. So we're looking forward to now getting that property done, and it's a property that I think we may keep. So we buy and hold, we buy and sell, and I think it's going to be one we buy and keep.
What made you look at that particular property? Now, we don't want to give all the secrets away.
Yeah.
It's important that you come along and network and maybe learn from Nicholas. You don't have an actual mentorship or anything as such,
No, not
Nicholas.
at all. No.
But what made you go for that particular property? Was it the variables or?
It was number one in our area, which is key. It was a property that we knew that had a good margin in it, and we know that it's got good rental.
So when you say good margin, what margin? Because everyone talks about good margins, and good margin to one person can be completely different to another, and that's partly because you may have a different goal to someone else.
Yeah.
When you're looking at margins, what do you look at, Nicholas?
Well, basically, we're not that sophisticated. So basically, we just look at what the cash is in the deal for us, and that it worked for us personally. So we did the deal.
Okay, and that was last Wednesday. Was that at one of the major ones like Allsops?
Allsops. It was an Allsops, yeah.
Okay, and do you look at? You don't necessarily focus on one particular auctioneer. It's more you focus on one geographical area. Yeah. So that would be your sort of like we've spoken before, Nicholas, and that's your sort of a bit of advice is don't focus, on different areas. Is get to know one particular area,
and that's our key strength.
And you say our key strength, so there's more than one person whose key strength is working with you in that area.
So obviously the company we work for is called Freedom of Choice, which I'm the managing director for, and we believe that teamwork makes a dream work, and so we have various joint venture partners on different various projects that we do.
I just want to make sure, so we haven't really gone into the flavour of who you are, Nicholas. And I do want to keep this fairly brief, but Nicholas has completed a 17-unit development in Caterham, Surrey, recently. And as I say, Nicholas is the owner, is that right, of Freedom of Choice?
Choice, yes.
Yeah, but Choice is spelled Choyce. So if you want to get in contact with Nicholas, what's the best way?
Just on our website, which is freedomofchoice.co.uk.
And Choice is Choyce.
Yeah. I'm also on LinkedIn, on Facebook.
So, as I say, pleasure being with Nicholas Marshall today. I'm really keen to do a number of these Facebook live interviews as well. If you've got any comments or suggestions, feel free just to pop them into the box. I'm not going to take much more of your time up. The only thing I'm going to say is a little bit about myself. So my name's Brendan J. Quinn. I've been hosting and organising property events in London, southwest London, initially in Wandsworth, so on a regular monthly basis for property investors in Wandsworth since 2010. So, number of different well-known speakers have been there. I suppose the most high profile would be the likes of Property Investor News Magazine editor Richard Bowser. So Wandsworth takes place on the third Tuesday. It's a really nice venue. It's the Alma, as I say. Average is about 30 to 40 attendees, sometimes larger. And if there's a particular topic you want me to cover, it doesn't necessarily need to be for Wandsworth, because I also cover Central London evening meets, London Bridge Hotel, and also Central London morning meets in the Piccadilly area. Nicholas, you have your own events coming up as well. You have an event?
We have a bi-monthly event which is held in Croydon, off the Purley Way, and our next event is going to be on Tuesday, the 6th of December. And we're holding a commercial to resi special. Again,
that's interesting. So who's going to be presenting, yourself or
myself? So it's a bit more a team event. So all the information will be on the website in the next day or so.
Okay, so just repeat, the date is
Tuesday, the 6th of December.
Okay, so my December comes a lot more freer because Wandsworth takes a break in December. I don't have a Christmas party or anything coming up for Wandsworth, so it's back into January. I do have a December meet though in Central London on December the 8th. So as I say, great way to contact with Nicholas. If you want to connect with myself, at Brendan_Quinn UK. Thank you and bye for the moment.
I hope to see you on Tuesday.
Yeah, so it's this coming Tuesday evening, Tuesday the 15th of November. If you can't make it, as I say, I do run a number of different meets. Just send me a message via Twitter at Brendan_Quinn UK. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.